Okay. Was trying to go live on my laptop, but YouTube on the desktop changed everything, and it wasn't working. So, gonna be working my Book of Shadows. Don't know if anybody's gonna be coming on. I know on right now watching it, but I didn't feel like pre-recording anything. And later on, so I made a late night Walmart trip tonight because I needed to get more printer ink for Let me just do this. Okay, sorry, I have laptop on so I can see the chat just in case anybody comes in. Oh, somebody's here. Who's here? All right. So I'm going to be gluing some stuff in this, which is going to be like my little shortcut Book of Shadows. I crinkled all the pages, and this everything that I have in it so far. I'm trying to get on it. That's one of my favorite pages so far. So I've been waiting since last night for all this glue to dry, and I finally got my Hecate stuff printed out. I have a couple more correspondences to glue in, but I want to show you guys some of the stuff I got tonight at Walmart that I'm going to be using. Sorry if the dishwasher is a little loud. It takes about 2 hours for it to recycle. But I got some of this lace stuff that I'm going to cut and use to cover the binding for this book. I got some cards. I'm just going to take everything out. Let's choose for later. Okay. So some of the stuff I got for this and some other stuff I got for my newer Book of Shadows. But they had these Easter greeting cards. I thought it was really neat because it has like these little squishy eggs that have flowers in them. I'm going to take some of the eggs and cut them out and just put them in the Book of Shadows. Got these little pop-up sticker flowers. I might use some for this, some for that book. And then I have this, which I'm going to put on the other Book of Shadows. And then I have this, which is going to be going on a piece of ribbon for this one. And I got these little charms, which are going to be going on the bookmark that I'm going to be making for this. It does have some Christian stuff in it, but I don't know if you can see. It's got like a witchy hat and then some other cool kind of stuff in it. Almost spilled my drink. And then Walmart has a discounted card section. So I got some stuff to use. I'm going to use this in the new Book of Shadows for my ancestor page. I'm just going to cut open the card because it says, today comfort, tomorrow peace, always memories. And then it has these feathers that have a little bit of glitter on them. Okay. And then I got this card because in this Book of Shadows, I'm going to do a wedding dedication page for when we get married. And then this one says it's a card for our grandfather. But I thought these shapes were really cool, and I'm going to cut them out and put them in my other book of shadows, which is going to be my actual, like, detailed, in-depth one. But I got this ribbon at Walmart. It's a silvery elastic ribbon, and I'm going to try to figure out a way to put this on here. Kind of keep the book closed. It might work, it might not. I don't know, it just might have to be something that I tie. Oh no, we will figure something out. And then this is the ribbon that I got that I'm going to use to make a bookmark. It's kind of got a glittery thing in the middle of it. It's kind of iridescent. It's kind of peacock colors. Because at first I thought it was green, but it's like greenish blue depending on how you look at it. So I don't know. I might just put a clasp on here because I don't know. My book is a little front heavy, but this thing is so freaking heavy. But this book, it actually has a little gap in the spine right here. So I'm hoping if I stand the book up, I can drop the ribbon on it. And I got a couple of these glue pens tonight because I was using the regular Elmer's glue, and it kind of did this cool thing with the pages. I don't know if you can see it, where it made them like crinkly and but it's like taking forever for it to dry, because even some of these pages, like, they're not all the way dry yet. And I also got these little squares. So without further ado, let's get to gluing. Oh, and by the way, I did not type all this stuff out. I found pages in a PDF online, and I just printed it out from my phone because we just got a wireless printer, which is where I also got my little thing on familiars, my wheel of the year. I don't know if anybody's seen it. Yeah, this artwork I didn't do. I just wanted something quick and easy. So it has things on Sabbats and the S-bits. And it starts with Samhain and then it ends with Mabon, I believe. And it has like correspondences, rituals, spells, and then ways to celebrate. So it has all that. And as you can see when I'm flipping the pages, they're really heavy. Yeah, Mabon's the last one. And that's where I glued the black and white witchy picture, which I got off of Google, to separate for the correspondences, which it has colors, herbs, flowers and trees, spices and nuts, food and drinks, which I actually think is the longest one. And then it has love correspondences like different herbs and flowers and food use, prosperity, luck. So the next one we are going to is protection. I'm just going to do a little test run. Okay. I've never used these before, but I got like 3 of them. And if anybody has any better suggestions for glue, just let me know, because this has not been my friend. Okay. This stuff is a little bit better than the white glue. Yeah. If I get any glue on my fingers, I just kind of run it over the edges, or if like any of the glue seeps out, just because like sometimes it smears the ink, and it also holds everything down, and it kind of gives it like this cool effect. Okay. There's that. And I'm actually going to take my jewelry off because it's kind of in the way. Ooh, we got somebody else. So yeah, but all this gluing in, I've been working on it for the past 2 or 3 days. And it's just been kind of a pain with waiting for the glue to dry. That's really been the longest part, because if the glue would have actually dried quicker, I probably would have had all this done. Alright. Who's watching? I probably won't be able to respond back in the live chat, but if you want to, just drop a comment and say that you're here, just so that way I know who's watching. Because I got glue on my fingers and I don't want to get it on my laptop keys. Okay. Alright. And this clear glue is a lot better than the white stuff because it's not so heavy. because one issue that I was having was I thought it would be dry enough and my pages were sticking together. So in a couple of spots, I had like little pieces of the pages missing. And since we moved into the house and I still have a majority of my stuff in boxes, I don't know where my hairdryer is, which that could have helped a lot with the drying. So there are a lot of different things to use for prosperity. And the one thing I like about the list in the PDF that I found, is all the lists are in alphabetical order. But because I am live, okay, I can't exactly go and look on my phone of where I found the PDF. But if you just Google free Book of Shadow pages, it should come up. I think there's about 60 something pages. So it is a lot, but you don't need to print out everything because it does just have like some blank line pages where if you have a Book of Shadows like I do, you don't really need those just because you already have the blank pages. But if you're doing like a binder Book of Shadows, it's good because you can take out the pages and write on there what you need to write. And then you can put it back in your little page protectors. Because I think like after all the Sabbats, it has like a blank spot to put stuff. I don't know. I'm hoping that this glue holds. Okay. I'll be right back. I'm going to go get a paper plate just to set some of this stuff in because I'm getting glue on this plastic bag. I'll be right back.
There is something inside of you that says, yes, I do want this people.
There goes your one cord. Okay. So this should make things easier just because I don't want anything getting stuck. But I hope everybody that's live with me now, the little too small people that are watching, and anybody that watches this after, had a great weekend. I think, yep, this is the last for the correspondences. The last one is health correspondences.
Return the case of Michael Wade Moore, a man that prisons cannot hold. After 3 successful escapes, he is still on the run.
He's a very definite threat to anybody who means this anywhere.
Yeah, I wish I had one of those little roller things. It would make this a lot easier.
After being called to the scene of a reported murder, police became involved in a high-speed chase for a suspect. The chase ended in the parking lot of a condominium car. Officer Kevin took off after one of the 2 suspects.
Everything is set up in a certain way. You would chase them and tell if you got around, and that's the end of the problem. This one, all said he wasn't being like a man.
In order to avoid being shot, Arnold tried to empty his revolver into the air. 5 out of 6 shots were fired. Arnold then reached for his second service revolver. He fired 5 shots at his adversary. The man survived. His name was Michael Wade Moore. When they checked their records, police discovered that Moore had 5 pages of previous convictions. He was known as a master of disguise, and often used them to escape capture. After his arrest in Orange County on New Year's Eve 1983, Moore released police custody for a humiliating trial. He underwent physical therapy in one hospital outside of jail for the 6 women who sustained during his struggle with Officer Arnold.
One day when he was starting therapy, there was a nurse that was talking to someone else, and she made a mistake by saying out loud that he was going to be coming again on a certain day. Where he was more of the type of person that would file a
On January 17, 1985, the case of nursing mentioned, Moore arrived at the hospital.
As they got to the back door of the therapy building, Michael started to walk in. And as he walked in, he stumbled and fell forward. Not handcuffs. When he came up, he had a gun, and of course he had to go on the Get him on! Once he had the deputy handcuff himself, he took a second set of cuffs, moved him down the hall, and used that set of cuffs to go into a firefight. As Mohan was leaving the building, he told the deputy to stay there and not to make any noises while he was looking at it. And at that point, he backed out of the door, ran to a waiting pickup truck, first light here, and was running in the parking lot. And I drove by the deputy speaker and get my books. During the course of the follow-up investigation, it was our conclusion that it was Sharon Mohan that had been driving the truck. They also felt that she was the one that planted the gun.
Alright, that is it for correspondences. I'm just gonna put a little bit of glitter here. Keep that corner down.
Sentenced to 3 years in jail for her involvement in the escape. She has since been paroled.
Okay.
She has rejoined her husband.
I got the Unsolved Mysteries channel playing in the background. It's one of the free TV channels that came with our TV. It's not like a TV antenna, it's actually a service. I think you can download the app on your phone and maybe streamcast it, but it's free channels. Alright, I'm gonna go wash my hands really quick. set that aside because my next thing I'm not going to be using glue.
Once again, Marlowe's lose arrest. As he was taken into custody, police were surprised how friendly he seemed. Unusual behavior for a man who was facing a serious charge. During his interrogation, Mohan maintained upside down hair.
All right, sorry about that. I'm back. Okay. Let me look through my stuff. All right, so after the correspondences, the next thing in my book is going to be pages devoted to Hecate. I have this little diagram of Hecate that I printed out online. It's really neat. I don't know if anybody notices in the corner, but there's Voldemort. So I'm just going to cut the outline of that. And then I have this Word document that I typed up last night that has just little bullet points about Hecate, her association, sacred animals, information about the crossroads, sacred times, different offerings to leave, herbs, candle colors, and it has some stuff about the colors, and then crystals, and then there's an invocation here, and then another little poem. And some of the stuff, I got everything online. I just kind of copied and pasted it, but it was really hard to find like the little bullet points. Everything was like in a paragraph format. And when I'm looking through my book, I don't want to have to like read through everything trying to find different correspondences and things like that. But the page after the correspondences is going to be this. It is a raven with a skull because ravens are a sacred animal of Hecate, and because Hecate is associated with the underworld, I figured it was perfect with the skull. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out because otherwise the pages are like the whole thing is too big. And again, I got this online. I did not draw this because, like I said, because this book is only about 220 pages altogether, I just wanted it to be more of like a reference book, you know, especially like if I'm traveling, I can take this with me. I also have a small book of shadows. It's going to be a traveling one, you know, or if I'm just doing something really quick and I want to look up correspondences. I have this book with not as many through, like the other book of shadows is 600 pages versus this only being 220. So that's why I pretty much printed everything out that I can because I didn't want to take the time, or I didn't want to waste the time writing things in here by hand like I was going to, since that's what I'm going to do with it now. Now, the other book, I'm on that one, and I am going to print some stuff out, but I'm also going to handwrite in it. I have a calligraphy set at my mom's in a bin, which I am going to hopefully get tomorrow. But it's actually paintbrushes with ink I just hope that the ink is still good. So I'm not going to use glue on this. I'm going to try to use... Alright, what do we got going on here? Okay. Alright. I'm going to try to use these little double-sided tape square things that I got, which they are really sticky. And that's why with this book, I'm going to try every different thing that I can, just because I want to get my crafting in the book down really well before I start in the other book, just because like I want the other book to look pretty, and I want to have like a nice aesthetic to it. That's why I'm trying different types of glue. I have Mod Podge. I have glue sticks. I have like the normal Elmer's school glue. I have this glue pen. Ooh, these are really, really sticky. I have this glue pen that I got. I don't even really know how many of these things I need. Just want to make sure that it's in there. I think double-sided tape might work a little bit better than this. So this is kind of a pain, just having to rip little things out. Maybe for like putting in like little things, maybe these will be worth it. This is a pain in the ass. Unlike this big picture. This is literally a pain in my ass. Yeah, the other pages I'm probably going to have to glue. Yeah, definitely going to be using these for smaller things. But the rest of the Hecate pages, I'm going to be going back to the glue. It's a little bit, it's messier, but it's quicker. Because when I bought this, I thought it was going to be like little individual squares. That you took out, not this roll of stuff. And even when I'm done putting these on, I gotta go in and rip the backing off. So, but that's why I said I want to practice my crafting in this book, just so that way I know what works with what. And if I need to, I got some tape. I can just tape around this. Because I had some clippings from a magazine that I cut stuff out from, glued in the front part of my book. And I used the Elmer's glue stick for that. I used the purple ones. And that actually didn't work. I don't know if it's because of the type of paper that magazines usually use, but yeah, they are starting to come out, but I was also having issues with that kind of glue too, because it was gluing faster than I could actually put the glue on the back of the paper. Yeah, the glue is so much easier. If I need to in the future, I might use double-sided tape. This stuff. Okay. Got one final one here. Alright, now for the moment of fruit. Well, it sticks, but if it stays, we have yet to see. Before I get glue on my hands, I'm gonna take a couple of bites of my little chicken pizza. So hard. Alright. So I'm gonna cut my Hecate stuff. And I'm gonna use glue just because I'm lazy and I don't have the patience to deal with all of that. So we have Hecate. Now let's get Hecate. Here. No, but I actually think the more I craft in my Book of Shadows, even if it's gluing stuff in, I might do lives just because it kind of seems like it makes everything go a little bit quicker. There's that. Oh, and the one thing, the way I crinkled the pages was I just kind of folded it up and pushed them in here. And like this one, I don't know if you can see it, but in the process, like some pieces of the pages ripped, but I love it. I'm going to get one of those, the tea ink stamp things. To put in. Okay. Here. But if anybody doesn't have one, like even just a printer in general, you can get them cheap enough at Walmart. Like I think they have one that just does printing for like $35. But it's worth it, especially if you're not somebody that is crafty or you don't think your handwriting is that good. You can print stuff out. Even if you're putting it into a binder. But they have them for like $35. The one we got was $60. It's an Epson brand. I didn't hear of it until I actually started looking at printers online. But this one's actually a really good printer. It scans, copies, and it has a fax in it. But all of them, they have wireless printing. So if you find something on your phone that you like, you can save it to your phone and print it out via Wi-Fi. So you don't even really need a computer for the printer. And like one good thing for me is I have some stuff that like I didn't get online that I have in like books and stuff like that I want to put in this Book of Shadows and the big one, so I can scan and make copies and upload it to my laptop, and also so I can have backup files in case something happens to one of the papers. But they're really, really inexpensive, and obviously, you know, you can print more stuff out than just for your Book of Shadows. And even the ink for the printers isn't that much. Like, I think to replace all 4 ink cartridges, because that's just a standard that printers have is for it. Black, magenta, yellow, and cyan blue, which it's amazing everything that you can print out with just those 4 colors. But I think it's like 30, it's like 30 something. For all that stuff. Of course, this is over there. And the one thing I like is you can actually download Microsoft Word on your phone. So you can copy and paste stuff and you can pick your fonts. So that is the font that I chose for my Hecate invocation. And that's what I have for the bullet points. It's kind of hard to see on the phone, but if I'm looking at it, I can see it. It's just everything looks different on a screen than it does in real life. But once I'm done gluing in this stuff, we can start on the bookmark. And I try to cut all my stuff out like in these shapes. Just because I think it looks a little bit better. Alright. So that is all done. Just gonna stick these over here. I'm going to glue this in. And one thing I'm noticing, even just using it, this glue doesn't seem as runny as the white Elmer's glue. Okay. So that there. Load that there. Okay. This seems more like a liquefied version of hot glue. Okay. And I'm just going to go and separate the pages a little bit to make sure that they aren't sticking together. Which these ones are actually doing a lot better than the other ones. They're still wet, but they're not as wet. I might just stick this in there. So that way those aren't touching each other. Okay. Now we're going to be gluing in the Hecate correspondences. good thing I got like 3 of these. It's more expensive than the white glue, but it's better. I also have Mod Podge, and I have E6000 glue, but I'm not going to waste E6000 glue on printer quality paper because that's all this is. It's just regular printer paper. And I don't know if this will hold up to the Mod Podge. Because it's not like this is like really, really great paper.
Unsolved mysteries. Whenever possible, the actual family members of police officials have participated in recreating the events. What we're about to see is not broadcast. I am unsolved mystery, intriguing news story. In 1988, the undercover San Francisco police in Western California was found shot to death inside his big bottom program. Eyewitnesses saw 2 unidentified women with a guy named in moments of his death. Police are still investigating what connection these women had to Kanye and his murder. In 1971, 58-year-old Alice Kanye vanished from his home. 800 miles away, his car was found in the river.
Oops, almost glued that in upside down. All right. Only got one more thing to go on. I think this is the longest live that I've done to date. I'm not sure how long the first live I did was, but I know when I get done with this, I'm gonna have to go into my channel and delete the 2 attempts that I had at going live. When YouTube, I tried to do it from my laptop first, and it wasn't working. It was trying to get me to put in some information about like a third-party live streaming service, and it was live, but I couldn't see the computer screen because YouTube wouldn't let me like get out of it to look at the screen, so I kept having to exit out and try again, because I had some stuff on my phone that I was actually going to, that I had found that I was going to read off, but I had to use my cell phone to go live because that was the only option that I had. Because apparently YouTube is like Facebook. They have to go and constantly change everything. And nothing is ever easy, especially when Facebook likes to change where stuff is. And they don't do like the little pop-ups that they usually do, sometimes saying, oh, hey, we updated and this moved to here. Because I have some stuff for sale on the Facebook Marketplace, and they changed where the location of it and didn't say anything after updating it. So I was like, well, where did this go? Because I kind of need to, keep an eye on my stuff and update it if it's sold, and if I need to lower the price, I can lower the price. I can, because I usually gauge if I need to lower the price, like if I get a lot of people looking at it, but nobody is saying anything. Okay. And this is actually empty. So time to move on to the next one. Where did I put? Yeah. And the good thing about these is you don't have to cut the tops off. All you do is take it out of the package, take the cap off, and get to gluing. And this is craft bond glue, so it's supposed to hold really well. Okay. Just gluing my little Hecate poem in here. It's not really an invitation. Okay. Yeah, this stuff is like hot glue. How in the heck? That's up there. Now I have that. So now we are going to try and get a bookmark in here. Which I'm doing that, just going to separate the pages. And I just set it up like this. I'm just going to pull the pages apart. But this book has a gap in the binding that I'm hoping I can just drop this down into here. Oh, we're gonna have a car. scrap. I don't see it coming out the other side. I think I didn't just get like caught on something. Bunch of. Alright. I'm just gonna let that roll out like that. So I sort of got this idea from watching Drunk Journal videos. Alright, phone is dying. Okay. There we go.